Before we kick off this review, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more keyboard-related content. The Razer Huntsman Mini comes in a black color variant and this Mercury or white variant. It is such a cute little keyboard, being of a 60% layout, that is marketed as a gaming keyboard. But of course, you don't need to be a gamer to use this keyboard to its full potential, as gaming simply means that it's capable of taking on strenuous tasks, being that gaming requires a lot from your computer, so you would just be purchasing a high-performing peripheral. Inside the box, you get this manual with a few Razer stickers, a thank you note, and a detachable, white braided USB-C cable. The cable is fairly high quality, and the design choice to keep it detachable keeps this already small keyboard from taking up too much space when traveling. One thing that is sometimes overlooked is packaging, and I must say that Razer has a way of keeping it simple, yet clean and professional, with everything nice and sealed up. Now, the keyboard itself is adorable. I mean, I have small hands and I can pick it up with ease with just one hand, not to mention that's also very lightweight, which I assume is to make it easy and comfortable to travel with. Its floating keycap design, rather than a high-profile design, exposes its optical switches from under the keycaps, and it contributes to a more athletic sort of look, as gaming keyboards tend to be, with sporty yet refined angles that shave off any excess weight to the board, while also contributing to a sleek exterior. On its own, it doesn't have much of an angle, but again, I do appreciate the design. You have the option to steepen the angle with the adjustable feet, and the keyboard comes with a 6-degree level as well as a 9-degree level incline, depending on the user's preference. I can really appreciate this, as my wrists sometimes hurt after being in the same position for a while, so the more angular variation, the better. However, the keyboard tends to stay in position a little better when the adjustable feet are not in use, given the 4 rubber pads for grip at the bottom of the keyboard. To be fair though, you probably won't be purposely trying to slide around the keyboard. Now, let's look at these Razer optical linear switches. For starters, optical switches are meant to be faster than traditional mechanical switches, as they rely on the speed of light, as you can see in this visual provided by Razer's website. Here's a quick listen. They feel pretty smooth and stable, which can be attributed to Razer's pre-lubing of each switch and providing mini stabilizers to go with each switch. There's still some stem wobble though, as you can see here. This keyboard can be purchased with the purple clicky switches, or these red linear switches, depending on preference. In my Razer Huntsman Quartz video, I went over the purple switches, but these red switches for a pre-built are fairly high-end and high-quality feeling. To delve in a little deeper, or really understand the keyboard, I decided to take it apart and see if any modifications could be made to enhance user experience. Right upon prying it open, I noticed that the case is completely hollow, aside from the screwed-in battery, of course. You can easily get to the case and plate, which is attached to the PCB, by unscrewing. The plate, with the switches and PCB, actually has quite a bit of flex to it, as you can see. It also is what adds the most heft, which is not really that much heft, to the already lightweight keyboard. Now, the case being plastic is super lightweight, and not the sturdiest of plastic cases, with this pretty empty sound. You can't see it here, but there's a small engraving of the word Razer, tastefully done on the front of the case. The case is made of a textured plastic, as you can hear, in comparison to the smooth feel of the plate. I also love that the bottom includes a reflective branding of the "For Gamers by Gamers" motto of Razer, which can be seen as different angles of light hit it. A small and creative touch by the designers. The stabilizers fit the plate in a unique way, and they're also not too rattly for a pre-built, which can also be attributed to Razer's initiative to factory lube them. Now, onto the keycaps, which are made of double-shot PBT plastic. This means they are relatively more durable and thick than standard ABS plastic keycaps, and they won't collect finger grease and deteriorate from finger grease, as ABS caps usually do. Bear in mind, though, that they are a white color, so they will easily get dirty, as the semicolon key here is already slightly spotted. I must say, the double-shot caps show the legends pretty clearly, but being white means the light will also bleed through the entire cap in the dark. In general, I really appreciate the font Razer chose to go with, as it's classy and doesn't convey the childish vibe of a stereotypical gamer font. You can also hear just how durable they are. Being that this keyboard is 60% and does not include dedicated arrow keys or function keys or a home cluster, I like how Razer made layering keys more intuitive by using the front of multifunctional keys to indicate what else they stand for. For instance, I, J, K, L act as arrow keys. That in itself makes this easily usable for productivity as well as just gaming, and it helps those of us who may not be well adjusted to a board that's missing so many essential keys. One complaint I have about the floating design, rather than a high-profile look, would be that in some instances the screws are visible and they don't match the plate's color. Razer as a company has created a program called Razer Synapse, which can be downloaded to customize features such as RGB or key layering for their products. Now for the logistics of the Huntsman Mini Mercury Edition. It comes in at 1 pound 4 ounces. It is a tiny keyboard, basically the same size as an Apple Magic Keyboard for reference, being about the same width, but with slightly less depth. Here's a complete typing test. The sound of these linear switches is almost comparable to a traditional silent linear switch, as silicone dampeners for each switch are also included. So definitely not the feel of a traditional linear either. Overall, I do like this keyboard, but since I'm more into multifunctional, easy-to-use keyboards as of now, I don't know if the Huntsman Mini checks everything off of my list, starting with the fact that it's only 60%, meaning that it's missing dedicated arrow keys, and a dedicated function row. With that being said, if you don't mind layering your keys, the fact that it's a 60% could be beneficial, as it means that you can use any standard keycap set to replace the stock keycaps if you want to spruce up your board. On top of that, you're getting a quality keyboard for what you pay for. I've mentioned before that custom builds will always trump pre-builds in my opinion, so this isn't bad for a pre-build. It's obviously great for traveling with a compact design and lightweight body, but to help with acoustics, some mods to the case should be done. As with anything, everyone has their own set of needs and wants, and I will say that this is not a keyboard for everyone, but it does have its benefits. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more keyboard-related content.